I came up with this theory about 10 years ago, and now they're doing it in Ironman. When you
That's
cross the finish line,
more points for
every second that goes by, you lose a point, right? So if you're within 10 seconds of somebody, yeah, they get 3,000 points for winning. Well, you're really close to them, so you get just as many, pretty close amount of points. Because what that does is it makes the people, yeah, because it makes the individual realize, yes, I didn't win the race, but I still need to salvage as many points as I can. So I race to the finish line. I said that 10 years ago.
You think that's why Iron Man is doing that, is so that guys don't just like, all right, I need a race to the finish line.
Yes. And that the reason why I came up with this idea 10 years ago is I was putting together a race series, and that was what we were going to do. Is it was what we called the race for time. Sure, this individual still won the race, but I don't want, and I hate to bring up the lapper conversation, but I want to see the lapper still racing. I don't want him to get in the way of the leader. But in this way, you and I talked about, should we set it up where if you get lapped twice, you get black flagged and you have to leave the course? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now you're not getting in the way of the race whatsoever. And it's interesting because I look at something we brought up collectively, triathlon, right? If you look at the T100 series, they have a stipulation in their rules that if you're a lapped athlete and you get in the way, you get a huge financial penalty. Like you cannot tie up that race. So when the runners are coming through on the run or the bike or what, you have to move to the side. You say, well, yeah, they do that in motocross as well, but there's no ramifications. We've seen situations where the leader has gotten in the way, and it's like, well, I mean, there's been a couple points here and there, but again, to go back to solving the problem, having athletes race to the finish line, I think it would be cool. You get $100,000 if you show up. And for every second that goes by, you take $100 off or something. You would see the athletes race to the finish. And I'm just using loose numbers. Don't ostracize me for the numbers.
Hey, that is great. I honestly, I kind of like the points better, where, because nowadays we've got computers, right? So in the timing chips, it wouldn't be too hard to be like, all right, 500 points or 1,000 points. And then every second goes by, there's a point, right? It would make for some interesting racing at the end of the season, where guys are like, hey, I had a bad race and lost a bunch, or I just need to fight and race as fast as I can. Because sometimes, you have first through 10th that are within 10 seconds of each other, which is pretty dang cool.
Well, you want to create a race within a race, and then you have the series points at the end of the year. So literally every second counts. And you think about that, right? Let's say that you have 10 races and the best 7 of the 10 count because people have injuries, sickness, stuff like that. So you factor a little bit of that. Everybody has a bad weekend.